So today I'm going to demonstrate how I do water marble test swatching, which I do if I'm using new polishes or trying a new pattern or just anything I'm not 100% certain about. So first, I'm going to talk about my NyQuil cup, which is what I use for most water marbles. It's a little too small to form some patterns, but for the most part, for a 8 or 9 ring bullseye, it's perfect, and for a one fingernail dip, and it doesn't waste too much polish, which I really like since I water marble so much. So one of the things I really like about it is I used to use this a glass shot glass, which is about the same size, and it's a little higher and a little easier to use, but you can see that ring that forms around the glass, and that's really hard to get off without soaking in acetone. The thing I like about the NyQuil cup is that it's plastic and it flexes a little, so when you do that, you can see the ring of polish, which inevitably builds up on the rim of whatever container you use, just pops right off. So I can reuse this NyQuil cup for many, many months. I usually use one for like 6 to 8 months, and I water marble a lot with it. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. A lot of people ask me why I use that. So I fill this thing almost to the top, and I do that because that way I don't have to dip too much. And so the first dip, I might spill a little water over the edge, but that's okay because then it becomes perfect. Pick up any floaties from the dried polish. And so that should be ready to go. Okay. So, and people ask me why I use a spoon for cleanup, and that's because I usually do my water marble test swatch on here because it's already white, so I can get a really good idea of what it looks like once I put it on my white base, which is what I use 90% of the time. And obviously, if I were going to use a different color for the base, I could just paint it, and that's pretty easy. If I wanted to use a black base, there's black spoons, but I don't have any. So I'm going to try this alternating swirl water marble, which I did with the last Savannah Lacquer pastel neons, but now I want to try it with the Dress Me Up 80s neons. Now, I can tell I didn't clean my water really well. There's still excess. So what I'm doing is I'm spreading the first drop around, and this should clean up the water really well. Okay, so now I'm going to start again. 1 drop of the blue, 1 drop of the purple, 1 drop of this teal. Okay. I still not spreading, so I'm gonna help that along. Okay. 1 drop of this green, which I'm not so certain I want to use in this, but we're gonna test it. Then back to the blue. Purple, the teal, the green. Then I want to end up on this blue. Okay. So that's the 9-ring bullseye there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw inwards in typical 8-petal sort of ring. And as you can see, I like to draw in from opposite sides because I feel like that helps keep the rings evened out. Okay, so what I'm going to try is sort of these alternating swirls. So along the edge between two colors, I'm gonna start and twirl around in one direction. Okay, and then at another spot between colors, I'm going to twirl in the opposite direction. Okay. And then repeat that right in the center. Okay. So as you can see, it looks like a swirl, but I think the alternating patterns give it some interest. And it makes it interesting because you can dip in the middle, you can dip on the outsides, wherever you want really. But just from looking at it, I can tell it will be okay. I did a little too much there in the middle, which I don't like, and I'm not sure I like the colors that I ended up with in the middle, but I'll show you. So this is how I do my swatch. And I took too long talking and most of it has dried, so it's all coming off in one piece kind of thing. But see, you can see what that will look like on the nail. And so that gives me an idea of, well, do I want to put that sort of here along the edge, which I really like. I feel like there was too much green and yellowish in the middle there, so I don't quite like how that turned out. So I might change the color combo around a bit. But yeah, so that's how I do my testing. And then I continue to use this to clean up the water for several water marbles until it just gets too caked on to really be good. Okay, and now I want to make sure I clean up the water really well before I do the next water marble. Okay, so I'm going to alternate this the color pattern. So I'm going to still start with the blue, okay, but now I'm going to add the green next, then the purple, and then the teal. Again, I know not everybody does this, but I really prefer my water marbles to be anchored all around the edges because I don't like when the water marble moves as I draw the pattern. So back to the blue, the green, purple, and the teal. Okay. last drop the blue. Okay. So again, I'm going to draw inward. Okay, and I don't like this. Something about that color pattern is just not thrilling me. So again, and obviously it gets muddled and it's harder to tell, but I know how it will look. And now I'm just trying to figure out the color pattern that